A jetliner skidded off a runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport during snowy conditions today, coming to rest just a few feet from the East River. Thousands of basketball fans will descend on Omaha for the second and third round games in the NCAA tournament Friday and Sunday. An Omaha man faces felony assault charges after police say he got into a crash, then stabbed the other driver. The chief and other leaders call it a somber day for the entire city of Omaha. Officials at Offutt Air Force Base are working with federal and local authorities tonight after a hit list leaked personal information of service members. It has happened again in the Omaha area, a deadly house fire. His name is Bull, and tonight the chocolate lab from Plattsmouth is warm and dry. In Dallas, they had fog this morning.
Right.
Flooding on the East Coast. We're the lucky ones. A few years ago, there was a party in Omaha. Afterwards, somebody got shot and killed.
Where people in Pleasantdale, as well as police, say that you killed two family pets. Are you a dog killer?
Former New York Governor Mario Cuomo, whose son is now the governor, died yesterday at the age of 82. You will soon be able to send a text message to get help.
Did you ever hear of the Metro Fugitive Task Force?
Yes, I have.
I got him. You realize they just arrested you for a felony warrant?
Yeah. First time of the season, Jim, so I heed your warnings. The story does not end with the deadly discovery in this field, but there's a lingering problem that just won't go away.
Mr. Bennett, did you know there was a felony warrant out for your arrest when this happened?
Training and drills about school lockdowns have changed in the last few years, and it taught me as a young reporter, always be prepared, always be well-read when you ask someone a question. It was a slam dunk. The NCAA tourney games in Omaha put us in the national spotlight. 4 days and nights of excitement, crowds, and big bucks in downtown Omaha. Good evening, I'm Craig Nigrelli. Jen is off tonight. Omaha businesses are still counting their cash after tens of thousands of fans took over the CenturyLink Center for March Madness. Good stuff, Megan, and the weather was fantastic as well. Here's a look at how Omaha stacked up when it came to attendance in the first 3 rounds of the basketball tournament. Louisville, Kentucky, and Columbus, Ohio were the only cities to top Omaha. The CenturyLink Center had about 52,000 fans. That's more than Pittsburgh, Portland, Seattle, and Jacksonville. The media coordinator for NCAA games in Omaha, Rob Anderson, is already looking ahead to 2018 when Omaha will host the Sweet 16. Not as many games, but more at stake. To prepare for that event, Anderson says organizers will likely go to an NCAA seminar and attend games in a host city in 2017. New at 10, a woman tells Omaha police a group of men pushed their way into her home and stole some of her property. The woman said around 1:30 this afternoon, those men came to her house near 36th and Dodge and asked for her son. When she said he was not there, they forced their way in, grabbed some of her belongings and cash, then took off. Officials at Offutt Air Force Base are working with federal and local authorities tonight after a hit list leaked personal information of service members. A group claiming it is linked to the terror group ISIS posted the names and addresses of about 100 U.S. military members online. An Omaha man faces felony assault charges after police say he got into a crash, then stabbed the other driver. Omaha police say Corey Helms, this guy right here, collided with another car pulling onto 13th Street from Monroe around 5:15 last night. Investigators believe Helms got out of his car and stabbed the other driver. The Douglas County Attorney's Office has not filed criminal charges against the driver after his brother died in a crash near 30th and Lake over the weekend. Police believe 19-year-old Jordan Bywater was speeding when he collided with another car early Sunday morning. His brother, 21-year-old Nicholas Bywater, died at the hospital. At least one person was not wearing a seatbelt. The people in the other car were not seriously hurt. Breaking news out of Dundee right now. Police are on the scene after reports of an attempted armed robbery at a Pizza Hut. This is a live picture at 50th and Underwood. Cops on the scene tell us 2 guys went in with guns. They demanded money, but the worker could not open the register. Police say they hit him on the head, pistol whipped him, and ran off. We will keep you updated as we get more information. Saving veterans' lives. That's what Iowa Senator Joni Ernst says her bill will do.
We must ensure that our veterans are prepared to transition.
According to the VA, there are roughly 24 veteran suicides each day. The average wait time for a mental health appointment at the VA is 36 days. Likely presidential candidate Rick Santorum came across the river for a book signing tonight. The former U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania had a meet and greet in Council Bluffs earlier today. Tonight he went to a bookstore near 84th and Center in Omaha to plug his new book about his family and purpose. Santorum won the Iowa caucus back in 2012 before Republican Mitt Romney eventually went on to win the GOP nomination. Some Iowa drivers had an unfriendly sight on the roads this morning. Yes, snow. This was the scene in Clinton, Iowa, as folks left for work today. A lot of slush there. They had to drive through snow and ice. The plows were out. Some drivers say they were caught off guard. However, there were no major accidents. Yes, that weather is for the birds. All right, meteorologist. Yeah, right. You know, there are a lot of robins bouncing around our grass. It's about to green up with the rain you're telling us about. And it's Severe Weather Awareness Week.
It starts today, and
a photo taken before an infant's heart transplant surgery at Omaha Children's Hospital will be featured in a national exhibit in Washington, D.C. Here are the parents, Chad and Wendy Larson, giving their baby daughter an emotional hug before the surgery. A police officer is off the job tonight after shooting and killing a mentally ill man. Why he lost his badge even after the prosecutor decided the shooting was justified. Plus, cruise control, how the first candidate in the run for president in 2016 might set the race into full throttle. A worker found John Nielsen on the ground this morning near 140th and Industrial. Good evening, I'm CraigNigrelli. Omaha police say Nielsen might have died from cold exposure, but they cannot officially confirm that. Reporter Megan Matthews is live outside tonight where those temperatures have dropped to dangerous levels yet again tonight. Megan. And as his girlfriend said, he was smiling in every picture. Volunteers are outside in Omaha tonight doing their best to keep anybody from becoming a victim of the brutal cold. At 24th and N, the Salvation Army Night Watch program served warm meals tonight and gave out blankets to help folks stay warm. Volunteers also went to the Comfort Inn near 13th and I-80 to pass out help to people who recently lost their homes in that rooming house fire in South Omaha. Just 1 week ago, dozens lost nearly everything and 2 people died. Tonight, those people have a warm place to stay for another night. A gift from total strangers. Reporter Josh Egbert has the story. Like a small family looking out for each other. Pretty neat. A fund for the victims has been set up at the Sac Federal Credit Union. It will help the tenants buy clothes and food. It will also deal with funeral expenses for the 2 people who died in that fire. You can find more information at our website, kmtv.com. We're learning new details tonight about how a baby girl was living before police found her unresponsive in her father's apartment in Bellevue. She later died at the hospital. Sarpy County court records indicate the house smelled of trash. Her bassinet was dirty with mildew and smelled of feces. Jasmine Thompson became a ward of the state right after she was born. Here's the mother right here. Authorities say the mother tested positive for drugs when she gave birth, and the infant had meth in her system. The brazen murder of an Omaha teenager shot and killed just after getting off the school bus remains unsolved tonight. 16-year-old Jontavius Swift went to Burke High School. Somebody gunned him down just blocks from his bus stop at 34th and Northridge in September. His family is still pleading for anybody to come forward with clues to help solve their son's murder.
Because it's like, I don't know, it just angers me.
Swift's father says the teen was nervous walking home from the bus stop that day because somebody had threatened him. A deadly health concern is hitting Douglas County, the flu. 1 person has already died. Nationally, the CDC is now sounding the alarm.
Or May, so there are plenty more chances to be exposed.
The prevalent strain of the flu virus this year is called H3N2. Medical experts say it has mutated, leaving the flu shot only about 40% effective. All right, meteorologist Jim Flowers is back, and the big story of the night, of course, is the dangerous cold.
it is, and temperatures right now in the metro.
All right, very good, Jim. A domestic dispute turned into a horrible scene of death and despair. Canadian police came across 3 gruesome crime scenes in what they are calling a mass murder. Details just ahead. And I'm CraigNigrelli. The chief and other leaders call it a somber day for the entire city of Omaha. Police returned fire and killed the suspect. Investigators will work through the night near 30th and Martin. Here's a live look at the scene as we speak tonight. As you can see, crime tape still up, police lights there, heavy presence. We have team coverage on the probe and what Officer Carrie Orozco gave to her community.
3 News.
All right, Kelly, nice touch. Officer Orozco recently spoke about why she gave so much of her time to kids. Watch.
When I see kids in the neighborhoods playing.
What a tremendous example, she said. Officer Carrie Orozco was only 29 years old. Now to the latest on the investigation. Top police officials say they will investigate for days if they have to.
Reporter Kevin Boughton.
Kevin Boughton reporting. Hours after the shooting, our crew saw police escort a woman from the scene. She was shouting profanity at officers near 30th and Martin as they conducted their investigation. They walked her away in handcuffs right here. We do not know if they booked her or just tried to calm her down. Officer Orozco was a member of the Omaha Police Gang Unit and the Metro Fugitive Task Force.
Police with a warrant. We're coming in. Answer my voice now or you will go to jail.
There has been a wide outpouring of support from public officials, the community, and social media. Steve LeClaire, president of the Omaha Firefighters Union, said this tonight. It is a sad day for our city, our police officers, and all of the public safety officials who risk their lives to protect others. Please join us in fully supporting Officer Orozco's fellow officers and family as they mourn this tragic loss. And now my investigation, water woes. Imagine living in a house that's been in your family for decades. There's a lot of history. You don't want to leave, but there's a lingering problem that just won't go away. One Omaha family is stuck in a filthy situation and hoping the city finally does something about it. There it is.
It's mind-boggling, completely mind-boggling. It's like, wow, I just can't believe that they would let somebody go through this.
Jerry Bradley is at wit's end. She and her husband have lived in this home on 18th Street near Fort off the Stores Expressway for more than 20 years. And for 2 decades, they've dealt with this.
It's foul.
Murky water, a combination of rain runoff and sewer backup, belching from a manhole across the street from their house. This is video the Bradleys shot from this past June, when more than 5 inches of rain fell in one night.
And it just pushes thousands of gallons of water through my yard every year. And it's got to stop.
And what comes out of this hole and winds up in the Bradleys' front yard is downright disgusting.
Condoms, tampons, sanitary napkins, you name it, diapers.
The Bradleys say this past summer and early fall was especially bad because of how much rain fell in Omaha. I checked with the Weather Alert team. Jim Flowers told me 10.5 inches of rain fell in June, 6 inches above normal. July was dry, but in August we saw 9.5 inches of rain, again nearly 6 inches above normal. And September followed that up with 6 more inches, or about 3.5 inches above normal.
It's been incredibly wet. It's probably happened 3 times this year.
What's it going to take? One of my grandkids to get sick, to get cut in the front yard and get some kind of infection or something?
5 years ago, the city of Omaha put a concrete slab over this manhole cover. But when the water pressure mounted, it just exploded right off. So this past summer, the city put concrete around the perimeter. Whether it holds remains to be seen. The city admits when it comes to this location, it's caught between a bluff, the Missouri River, and rain runoff.
It's a bowl down there. The water comes down off a bluff and also is trapped behind a levee, and there's nowhere to go.
Jim Tyler is the sewer program coordinator. He's aware the Bradleys have called repeatedly to complain. What can the city do to alleviate some of their problems?
So we can pressurize the line, rebuild it in a manner that it won't blow off. That is a short-term solution that we will investigate with our engineers. I think it's something we will look at over the winter to understand what those costs and the probability of doing that is.
In the meantime, the Bradleys...
This is no man's land down here. It really is.
Just hope and pray.
Then it's, please God, please don't let it rain.
Long term, the city plans to spend $90 million on a stormwater collection project in North Omaha. It's designed to take the flow or pressure off the system so there would not be as much water passing through the Bradley's neighborhood. But that's not slated to start until 2016.
When you send your kids off to school, you expect them to be safe.
But as we've seen all too often in recent years, schools have become the scene of some horrific shootings. Tonight in my special report, Safe in the Classroom, one local district that is well aware of that and is making million-dollar adjustments.
All right, so.
Kids learning at La Vista Junior High School in a safe environment, as it should be. But as we've seen all too often, the innocence of education can be shattered in an instant. From Columbine to Sandy Hook, and yes, here in Omaha, school shootings have now changed the way administrators shape and configure their buildings.
I think after Sandy Hook, you saw increased emphasis to lock buildings down, implement buzzer systems, implement cameras, basically keep the bad guys out.
Dr. Andy Rickley runs the fourth largest school district in Nebraska, Papillion-La Vista. There are 11,000 students. In 2012, voters approved a $60 million bond for upgrading schools as well as enhancing safety and security. That safety and security took on added meaning when a gunman burst into Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, and started shooting. He killed 20 children and 6 adults.
We had a number of buildings prior to the bond that the classrooms were open. Anyone could walk in, anyone could walk out. And that's, again, not consistent with best practice with regard to school safety.
So Dr. Rickley and his building and grounds director, John Brennan, got to work.
This used to be open area, and they were almost like partition walls that were covered with vinyl fabric.
Redesigning schools, such as Golden Hills Elementary.
None of this was here. This is all new CMU wall, new drywall.
Brennan took me on a tour inside. A summer construction project put up walls where there was previously open space.
You had 4 classrooms and a hallway down the middle and just open on either side. We've taken this a lot farther.
Teachers can now lock their classroom doors from the inside, providing a barrier to keep a possible intruder or shooter out.
Once they pull this magnet out of the way, now that door's locked from the outside. You can't get in. You have to physically have the key to open this up to get into this door.
Could you try it for me? Locked. Outside doors do not open.
Maintenance can't even get in that door because I don't have
that door's locked from the inside.
All the time, 100%.
Instead, visitors are funneled through the entrance at the office, where there is a buzzer system and a camera. Staffers inside put me through the paces. Our camera quickly rolled on it.
Good afternoon. Can I help you?
Yeah, hi, it's CraigNigrelli from Action 3 News. I have an appointment with the superintendent here.
Do you have identification?
I do.
Could I see it, please?
Into the camera?
Into the camera.
Into the camera, okay. Will my driver's license do?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Now, do you have one for your news station?
I do. I have my business card. Is that okay? There's my name in the middle and the station on the right. Then and only then did they let me in the building. Back at La Vista Junior High, administrators are preparing for a major summer overhaul. The school that opened in 1976 was built with an open, noticeably more sprawling education environment.
The idea with the open classrooms was that they were really looking for some activity-based learning.
But Sandy Hook and other tragedies showed just how vulnerable kids and teachers can be in an active shooter situation. So big changes are coming to the junior high.
This summer we are going to reconfigure our classrooms, put permanent walls in place of what are now walls that have been added since the building was originally opened. We're going to put doors, lockable doors on all the classrooms.
While some might say that's a shame or progress stunted, the bottom line is keeping the children safe at all costs.
We know that keeping the bad guys out is a very difficult endeavor, but whatever we can do to slow them down is going to better protect our students and staff.
Dr. Rickley also says training and drills about school lockdowns have changed in the last few years, becoming as common as a tornado drill.